was. So I think it was definitely both.
I think it was a little bit of both. Also, I think like when she went away, she just needed like some time like to like sit and figure out who she was. But I think when she realized like, oh, these men are not working for me, I know like who I want to be with. I think it just all came together.
I think for Obenze, it was like love or whatever, but then for like Blaine and Kurt, I feel like she was just trying to try something in America or whatever, like just trying to create an identity for herself and just trying to try new things. But since those didn't work out, she just knew that Obenze, like, that's her home, and she gonna go back to Obenze. And like at the end of the story, they haven't talked in like so long, and they just like rekindle, and that just shows like their love for each other.
Okay, so I feel like it's love because like when she lived with her and she lived with Wayne, if she was looking for acceptance and love, even though she didn't know who she was looking for somebody to love her like Obenze did. I think she loved. So I feel like it was love because even though she didn't know who she was, she knew that she wanted somebody to accept her and love her how the same way that Obenze showed love towards her, but in the end she was like,
So, basically what I was trying to like ask is like, most of like out of the answers I'm hearing that basically, out of everybody she had went through, she ended up knowing that Obenze was the one she wanted to be with at the end. So, was her identity, to what extent was her identity really transit? Because you saying that at the beginning, she didn't know who she was, so she went through all these experiences, and then she had to go right back to where she was in the first place. So then how transit was her identity then? She went right back to where she started.
She always changed who she was for every person that she was with. I feel like with Kurt, she just, at first she wasn't used to the lifestyle he was living or whatever, but she just adapted to it and was just going wherever he was going, out of state, country, or whatever. And then with Blaine, she changed. He always had an opinion on what she was doing, like in regards to her blog and stuff. She would always change it because she cared so much about his opinion and not caring about hers, and it's her own blog, not his. So I feel like with each person, her identity changed.
Well, I think she went back to Obenze because Obenze was probably the only one that fed her lies. That she, because y'all remember at the beginning of the story, he felt that she was the only one who had a sense of herself and that she could do whatever she wanted. But she was like the complete opposite of that. Like she was very compliant and he didn't notice. So she probably went back to him for her own selfish needs because he's the only one that didn't scrutinize her own relationships. That's how I feel about it. I don't think it's love at all. I think it's more selfishness than anything.
I have a question. So we all know that Ifeanyi has little to no self-esteem and she doesn't know who she is and all of that. So is there a specific point in her life where her self-esteem dropped, or has it always been so low?
Yeah. I feel like, you wanna go? Okay. I feel like, ever since the beginning of this, well, ever since when we got insight to her early life, I feel like from her attaching herself to certain people, you can clearly see that her confidence was always never reached a point where it was just full. But I would say the part where I felt like her confidence was the highest was in the hair salon. I don't know, for some reason I feel like when she was telling when she was like the part where she was talking about her hair and they was asking her like why don't, like she was combing her hair out or her comb, she was like why don't you she said like why don't you like relax her in your hair, she said like why do you wear your hair like this, you know, comb it like that. I feel like when she was standing up for herself in that moment, I feel like that's when her confidence seemed like it was the highest. But even at the end of the story, you can still see that she still was struggling with confidence and being at her highest level of confidence, just being by herself.
I feel like her confidence was highest like when she was around people. She felt that she got pieces of her identity from, like when she was with her. I felt that was the point where her confidence was highest due to him being wealthy and her having such nice things. I felt that not the materialism, but just the fact of her being on such like not higher level, but having so much more than what she did have, I felt that boosted her confidence. Because later on in the story when she said she talked about how she gained weight and she didn't feel pretty no more or whatever. I felt that when she was with certain people that she felt that cared about her or that sufficed her needs, that it made her feel confident.
I feel like with her, it was also a time when her confidence was at her lowest because when she found out that he cheated on her, she was very hurt about it or whatever, and she wouldn't have cheated.
No, she wouldn't cheat.
Okay, yeah, she would have cheated as well. And then that was the time she was with Kurt. She actually cut her hair because she felt like she needed something new or she wasn't pretty enough or whatever. So I feel like with Kurt, that was also a point in time when her confidence was at her lowest.
I have a question.
No, okay, yeah, we just.
Okay, so you know how like the story like starts with Obenze and it kind of ends with Obenze. Do you think like throughout the story, do you think a female with like her identity at the end of the story, do you think she found out more about herself, or like she just cut herself like shorter, if that makes sense?
Sorry, what you do?
Like by the end of the story, did she learn more about herself and like know like her purpose in life, what she wants to do, or did she just, or is she still just settling for anything?
I think she's just settling still. I don't think she's found herself yet, because if she still went back to Obenze, she clearly doesn't know what she wants. I mean, she wants him, but she really doesn't. He's no person like it's there for her. Like her and Blaine, like they were there for her, but it was for the wrong reasons, and like they wasn't really for each other. So with Obenze, like he was for her, but she's like just lacking on anything. So she latched on to him, like always been there. So it's like she doesn't know what she wants.
Can you repeat the question?
By the end of the story, did a female find herself, or is she just still like just going for anything, just settling for anything, or does she know like what she wants to do in her life because she didn't throughout?
I feel like she's just settling. He married with a kid, and I don't think she realizes the severity of the whole situation that she's in, and instead she's so worried about.
Okay, finish your comment.
She's so worried about her own happiness, and like he has a whole family already. I feel like if she really wanted to make herself happy, she would move on from that situation, work on herself first, and then find herself another situation. But right now, she not. She just settling for the next best thing.
All right, outer circle.
Do you feel that Auntie Uju was trying to protect DK from the culture criticism by keeping his identity secret, or was it the American culture changing her ways of thinking?
Anybody?
Do y'all feel that Auntie Uju was trying to protect DK from the culture criticism by keeping his real identity a secret from him, or do you feel like it was like American culture rubbing off on her, changing the way she thought about everything?
I think it was American culture rubbing off her, just changing the way she thinks. And I think that because when after him his suicide attempt and stuff like that, when she was talking to Camilla, when basically telling her all the same things that the doctor told her, like, you know, it happens to all the teenagers and things like that. I feel like that right there showed that she was changed so much by America that she couldn't even see how it was affecting her to affecting her son. And I feel like that right there showed how much America could change a person, or it was changing her in her mind, because she wasn't even protecting her son at that point.
And even before then, even before his suicide attempt, I feel like the American culture had rubbed off on her, and that was the way she was trying to raise him, because she always talked about her friends that came from Africa as well, but she talked about how they were raising them this American way, whooping their children or whatever, and things like that, and that's the American way to do it, and that's the right way to do it. So I feel like even before his suicide attempt, the American culture was rubbing off on her.
Trace.
Okay, so I said, so there are people who go around or go with the flow and are perfectly fine with it, just like in the text when Auntie Uju was with the general, and female was getting into these relationships with these different people and changing for them. So I wanted to know, like, what do y'all think that the pros and cons of these choices are?
Pros and cons.
Can you repeat the beginning?
Today people go with the flow and are perfectly fine with it. So, y'all want me to get into examples too? Yeah. So like, in the text when Auntie Uju was with the general, and how it she was changing for them to benefit their relationship. So I wanted to know what y'all think the pros and cons of their choices were.
Well, she was with those men because they pushed her, they propelled her forward. Like, she got the blog out of it, she was successful, she was able to travel with Kurt. The cons are, though, that you really don't have a sense of self. Like, at what point are you gonna stop allowing these people to just take you and do what they wanna do with you? So I feel like
I feel like I don't really I feel like when it comes to like the women and the men, I feel like, I mean, if he got money and he buying you all this nice stuff, you getting out of it, like he did say, like the traveling, the cars, the living a lavish life. Of course, that's gonna make you happy. But the cons of it is like, you're not in a serious relationship for real. Like, clearly they don't love you for real. I mean, like, if you got money, him giving you a couple of dollars is nothing. I mean, it might be something to you, but
I feel like the biggest downfall that Auntie Uju had from the relationship with the general was like, after that, she didn't even know how, the biggest like downfall from these relationships is that you never really learn how to love or what a real relationship or love is supposed to be like, because you keep going through the same thing over and over again thinking that that's what's right. So I feel like one of the biggest downfalls that they had was like Auntie Uju, she was doing, with the next man she was with, like she was doing like the same thing, like just marrying, and Ifemelu was still settling, but basically being a hypocrite because she looked down at Auntie Uju for being with the generals over there, but she was doing the same thing with Obenze. So it's like they never really learned how to love or how to be in real relationships.
Bestie.
Okay, so how do you guys think Ethan and Obenze's personalities would have differed if they switched positions? So if Obenze went to America and Ethan went to the UK?
Well, Obenze's dream was to go to America, and so like he would have been totally happy. But Ifemelu, I feel like she would have been struggling. Like I don't think she's very strong-willed enough to go through what Obenze did, like being sent back and having to live under another. Well, she did have to live under another person's name. But like she would have crashed. She would have. That wouldn't have worked for her.
I feel like Obenze would have had a real big shock because when you looking at him in the beginning of the story, him talking about America, he basically got this idea of America is just like, I don't think utopia type of place, but he thinks it's like this place where like he's always talking about the literature and the things he loves, like reading about it and all this type of stuff. And looking at Ifemelu's blog posts and all the things that she talked about and how they just labeled her and stuck that label on her, if Obenze would have went through that, I feel like he would have been like, oh my God, like I can't believe this is like what America is like, because he had this so